It's the what if that keeps echoing in my head. What if I can actually pull off a miracle? What if I can become someone no one ever believed I could be? You know, if anyone wants to do anything meaningful in life, the very first step is to change your mindset. You have to start telling yourself every day, you can do anything if you're willing to put in the hard work and stay dedicated. There's one key word that sits at the core of all success: suffering. You have to learn how to suffer. Yes, you must learn to suffer. Because those who know how to suffer, those who endure it, they win. To accept your circumstances unconditionally, no matter how painful, that's what I call emotional invincibility. That's when you reach a place where you've already accepted everything that could possibly happen to you, and you've already made peace with it before it even happens. So when life hits and something bad actually happens, you say, oh, okay, this sucks. This is the worst thing I could have imagined. But then you remind yourself, I can't change it, so I'm not going to waste energy fighting it. Because let's face it, problems are already hard enough to move through and overcome. So why would you add emotional chaos on top of all that? It doesn't help you. In fact, it makes everything worse. It drags the pain out, slows your progress, or even blocks you from solving anything because you're so emotionally wrapped up in it, you can't even see the sunshine through the storm clouds. When I talk about purpose, I'm talking about clarity, defining your goals, laying out exactly what kind of life you're trying to build, and creating a model for how to get there. It starts with asking yourself hard questions. Who am I? What kind of person do I truly want to be? Is this the right path? Is this the right decision? Taking just a moment to pause instead of reacting emotionally instantly every single time gives you the power to step outside that self-absorbed loop we all fall into. Because look, nobody is coming to your house to drag you off the couch. Not today, not ever. So until you fully understand that you are in charge of your thoughts, your mindset, your mental strength, until you realize it's you who must face life head on and take the hits, you're not going anywhere. You won't move, you'll stay stuck. Quote us this: the question is not, are you worthy to reach your goals? The question is, are your goals worthy enough of you? I believe that everything happens for a reason, but it's 100% our responsibility to choose the reason. Because remember, transformation comes from a distressing dilemma. It comes when our worldview is shaken up. And part of that shakeup has to be to help you see that. Could it be that you are living a tiny slice of your potential? Life is always giving you a test, trying to give you a way out, trying to give you the excuse not to show up. But guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every day of your life. And you know the most important thing is, you like you. So whatever you wanted to hear, say it to yourself. Because your mind doesn't even know that it's coming, it also doesn't care. Your mind doesn't care what you tell it is right or wrong, or true or false, or even if it's good or bad. It lets it in. And the familiar, unfamiliar, if praise is unfamiliar but criticism is familiar, when you're not used to praise, you'll reject it. And if you're used to criticism, you'll add it in. Because we do what's familiar. If they look at all their successes where they're happy or where they overcome things in life, they realize they dug deep into something. You know, they realize they didn't take no for an answer. If they look at where they are stuck or challenged, they need to reflect and say, at what point in my life did that starry-eyed person, where did it go? You know, and what took that away? Once you accept that, you'll realize you can get back to where you were or that good moment. But you just have to take a hard look and take inventory. Until you create that change yourself, like what do you expect to get out of it? You're going to get zero. Realism is nothing more than a socially acceptable form of pessimism. The people with the most consistent track records of success don't think in terms of what is. They think in terms of what could be. I experience negative emotions, right? And the difference is, what do you do with that emotion? So the emotion isn't the problem, it's what you do with it. It's not that emotional state that's the biggest problem for most people, myself included. It's what we do with that state, and we usually judge it. But don't give it a lot of importance. don't give that temporary emotional state a significant amount of significance. Just go, this is temporary, I accept it. You know, whatever it is, you can make anything feel familiar or unfamiliar. And my advice to everyone is this: take a close look at your bad habits and start making them unfamiliar. Then take a close look at what you actually want in life, especially things like praise, and make those familiar. The way you change the world, it starts by changing just one tiny thing. What really matters is, did you create something that can stand the test of time? Did you keep showing up and working at it long after everyone else would have walked away and said, all right, I'm moving on to the next thing. Or I'll go do this other thing, it pays more money, or whatever excuse it is. See, you got to stay at it, and stay at it. And then stay at it even longer past the moment when your ego gets bored and wants to quit. Because you are you. You are exactly who you are. And your vision, it has to be yours. It has to be unique. This isn't about pushing you to go start a company just because it's trendy, or writing a bestseller just because everyone else wants to be an author. This is about figuring out, what is that one-of-a-kind vision coming from deep inside you? What is the life you want to lead, really? Take a hard, deep look at your personal inventory. Look back at your life. What were your biggest successes? What were your failures? And more importantly, how did you learn and grow from them? Now take inventory again. Where do you want to go next? What kind of person do you want to become? What is your biggest asset right now? Do you have time on your side? Are you someone who lights up when someone's proud of you? Are you surrounded by people who love you? Are you ready to work harder than anyone else around you? And ask yourself, where is the empathy? Because the world out there is going to need to change. And that change starts with people who take inventory, look inward, and do real soul searching. Once you do that, you've just taken the first step toward living a truly meaningful, fruitful life. And that right there, that's the lesson that we can all choose to be. We can consciously choose who we want to become. First, accept what you can't change. Then ask yourself, what emotion will best serve me right now? And most of the time, that emotion is gratitude. It's happiness. Sometimes it's just good old optimism. Yes, optimism is an emotion too. And here's the truth. You can be the happiest and the most grateful version of yourself, even while going through the most difficult, most painful, most terrifying time of your life. It doesn't mean it doesn't suck. It does. But, and here's the bang, it makes it that much easier to deal with. You're not letting the pain completely control you anymore. And every single person who has ever created extraordinary results, anyone who has changed the world, anyone who's found financial freedom or reached their highest goal, they all had one thing: unshakable faith that they could do it.
That belief never wavered, and they gave everything they had. They gave extraordinary effort until, and that word until, underline it, circle it, highlight it, because that's the difference between quitting and winning. The past may have programmed you, but now you need to reprogram yourself based on what you actually want. So no matter what life throws your way, it's still your responsibility to respond. Step into the Coliseum of life and prepare for battle. Because honestly, I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what life has hit you with. It's still your responsibility to find something new in yourself. And you've got to own that 100%. Take it upon yourself to do that.